What happens when God does not answer your prayer? What do? Do you keep on thanking Him? Many of us are cursing God every day. Anytime you murmur, you are cursing Him. Anytime you complain, you are cursing Him. Job's wife said, curse God and die. See, you are a foolish woman. Shall we only receive good things? I will not protect back. Beloved, because of our time, I will stop here today. Amen. I will stop here. Amen. Amen. I will continue the rest of Amen. God, depart from evil and do good, seek peace and chase after it. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. When you are trying to ensure evil, when you are trying to live according to the plan of God, the devil is pulling you down. The Bible said that one day, when the children of God came to present themselves before the Almighty, guess who is the august visitor? Satan. Satan came among them. And God said, Satan, where comest thou? Say, what comest thou? he said, from going to and fro in the earth, confused man. Yeah. But he's confused, but he has a goal. Yes. He has a plan. He's going up and down, he has a goal. Amen. Amen. See, going through to and fro in the earth and walking down, up and down in it. And God said, hey, okay, since you have no job, since you are walking up and down, you don't have anything to do, have you considered my servant Job? Have you considered? That means since you have been walking anyhow. I'm telling you the truth. Without the fear of God, you cannot consecrate yourself. He said, come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Say, what man is it that desired life? What man is it that want to live and loveth many days, that he may see good? That the fear of God is what? The beginning. That means the day you start to fear God, from that day you start to have wisdom. That's it. That's it. He said, young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Amen. We read from verse 9. He said, oh, fear the Lord, yea, his saints, for there is no want. For there is no want. That means there is no lack to them that want. Fear him. Fear the Lord. Many mistakes that people have made today is lack of understanding. Not all, but many. The Bible says, it said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge is understanding. Amen. Amen. Do you know that understanding prolongs life? Yes. Understanding will add to your days. Understanding add to your days. Because you understand the trap of the ways of the enemy and makes you to leap over their trap. Right. But if you don't understand it, you make mistake. Job chapter 12 verse 12. Job says, with the ancient Job 12 verse 12. He said, with the ancient is wisdom. He said, but and in length of days is understanding. Length of days then means long life. With the ancient is wisdom. And in understanding, and in length of days, understanding. David said in Psalm 119 verse 144, he said that the righteousness of your testimony are everlasting.
Amen.
The righteousness of thy testimony
Hallelujah.
are everlasting.
Amen.
He said, but give me understanding. Somebody read the rest for me. Psalm 119 verse 144. Say, give me understanding. What is the next word there? The righteousness of your testimony are everlasting. Give me understanding, and I shall live. And I shall live. Thank you, man of God. Understanding will keep you alive. That the righteousness of your testimony are everlasting.
Amen.
Give me understanding, and I shall live. Understanding will add to your days.
Amen.
Listen, children of nowadays, when parents will try to make you to understand some few things, it is because they saw the mistakes or trap that you might fall into if you don't understand what they are telling you. They don't want any bad to happen to you. That's why they are. You will think, oh, my mother is too harsh. My father is too harsh. No. They are trying to make you understand some certain things of life because they have passed through it. And they have made mistakes.
Yes.
Because they do not have the understanding. Now, when they pass through, they made a mistake. And they now understand, I should have done that.
That's it.
I should have done that.
Yes.
If I understand a lot when I was like you, oh, I won't be where I am today. Because I will have started this journey early. And they told me, I won't listen. I won't listen because of friends. I won't listen. I decided to be a man servant at the age of maybe 7 years. You know what man servant is? Amen.
Amen.
So I've been there, but I will run away. Because why? The things of the life is so sweet. But if I understand all this, then I will have gone far. It is good to start with the Lord when you are young.
Yes.
Start with the Lord when you are young. It is you will know him better.
Yes,
If you start with the Lord when you are 40, 50, you will not know him that quick. Because his ways are mysterious. It takes time to know God. God does not reveal himself like that. He's not a cheap God. He's not a cheap God. He does not reveal himself like that. He reveals himself as you leap up to the next stage. You live according to his plan. And this is my son, this is my daughter. He is working according to the way I directed him or her. Understanding. David so much have understanding and he's so proud of it. And he said in Psalm 119 verse 99, he said, I have more understanding than all my teachers.
Hallelujah.
I have more understanding than all my teachers. Today I first react to you. I said, so is it possible to have understanding more than someone that is older than me? Yes, it is possible.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. See, thy testimony and my meditation. That means I meditate in his testimonies. As understanding can add to life, understanding can take life. Lack of understanding can take life. Proverbs 21 verse 16. Proverbs 21 verse 16. That the man that wandered out of the way of understanding. Are you there? He said, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of dead. Sir, ma, it is not a cause, it's a confirmation of the consequence.
Hallelujah.
The man that wandered, where they are giving you understanding, and you say, no, and you shall remain in the assembly of the dead. That means when you leave understanding, there are a group of people that are dying. You may be leading, but you are not any option. You are not option to the devil at all. Are you with me? Proverbs 6:32. He said, whoso committed adultery. Do what? Tell me the next word. Whoso committed adultery. Lack what? Whoso committed adultery. Lacketh understanding. He said, but he that doeth it destroy his own soul. And then you will see a believer committing adultery. Haven't they read the scripture?
Exactly.
A man of God is committing adultery. Haven't they read the scripture? Lack understanding. So every mistake you make in life, you lack what? Understanding. You lack understanding. Understanding what the will of God is. Try and understand it. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Proverbs 15:22, if I'm right. Proverbs 15:22. If it's not 15, it will be 16. Yes, it's 16. Yes, Proverbs 16:22. He said, understanding is the wellspring of life. Unto who? So it's not unto everybody. It's the wellspring of life unto him who has it. So what is the wellspring of life? Wellspring means the source of life, the beginning of life, the root of life. So understanding is the source of life. If unto anyone that has it, is it? But instruction is what? To who? To the folly. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Anything that you in your study, in your education, try and understand very well. If you don't understand, don't say teacher, teacher, yes, I understand. And you don't understand, tell him or her, I don't understand. Because you need to have that understanding. He's been paid or she's been paid to teach you. Don't shy away and because if I raise up my hand, they will say I raise up my hand. That is no foolish question when it comes to education. Hello? Raise your hand and ask. You will see that while you ask, tens and hundreds of them are benefiting from your question. They did not know it. Everybody is shy. Understanding will push you to the next level.
Amen.
I pray for somebody here.
Hallelujah.
That the spirit of understanding will come upon you.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Listen, I want to advise adults. Please. When the Bible says that, but understanding what the will of God is for every day of your life. Because the will of God changes. God does not work according to your time. You work according to his time. Listen. When you are trying to know what his will is, and it's giving the revelation, you are waiting to hear the revelation direct from God. Sometimes that revelation does not come direct from God. Though. It does not come. It may come through a child. It may come through a child. There are sometimes we push away the opinions of our children. You know that child is what he's saying, he or she is saying is right. But because you are an adult, you overrule his our opinion. And God is speaking to you, and you are pushing the will of God away. And you go back to your prayer altar, And the God, you have not answered me. You have not answered me. God will be like, what? How stupid can you be? I've already answered you, but you rejected it. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So a young person can have understanding than an elderly person. Job 32. Job 32. Job 32. Amen. Amen. Job 32, let us look at from verse 3. This is when Job had an attack and the friend came and to console him. Am I right? Yeah. So he has 3 friends, and the last one is Elihu. Elihu is the youngest among of them. Now, in verse 3, he said also, let us start from verse 1 so we can give a better understanding. He said, so these 3 men ceased to answer Job because he was righteous in his own eyes. Then was kindled the wrath of Elihu, the son of Barashel, the Bushite, of the kindred of Ram, against Job was his wrath kindled, because he justified himself rather than God. Then verse 3 says, also against his 3 friends was his wrath kindled, because they had found no answer and yet had what? Condemned Job. In verse 4, say now Elihu had waited till Job had what? Spoken, because they were elder than he. When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these 3 men, then his wrath was kindled. And Elihu the son of Barashel the Bushite answered and said, I am young, and ye are very old. Not only old, but they are very old. So when you see that somebody is very old, it's therefore that someone is old. So that means there is a gap between him and them. Yes. So I'm very old. Wherefore, I was afraid, and thus not show you my opinion, because I am respecting you as an elder. I could not speak. I could not say anything. In verse 7, he said, I said they should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. He said, but somebody said, but there is a spirit there is a spirit but there is a spirit in man. And the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them what? Understanding. There is a spirit in man. So that means God can speak to any young man here. Yes. Don't dust their opinion. Great men are not always wise. Neither do they age understanding. Neither do the age understand judgment. So don't think that you know it all. There is a spirit in man. There is one spirit in man. And the inspiration of the Almighty will give you understanding. Somebody raise your prayer. Say, Father, let your inspiration, inspiration of understanding, wisdom and knowledge, come upon me now. In the name of Jesus. Open the word and turn it to prayer. Let me have connection with your spirit. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Beloved, are you here today? Are you here today and you are offline of the plan of God for your life? There is a revival fire for you today.
Amen.
That is the fire that will bring you back.
Amen.
Are you here today and you have been asking God for increase? Increase in every area of your life. That is that fire that will come upon you.
Amen.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
That fire will locate you. The fire of increase.
Amen.
The fire of length of days.
Amen. I receive it.
Fire of healing.
Amen.
It will locate you.
Receive it.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Are you here today?
Hallelujah.
And you don't have the fear of God again. That fire to reconnect
Amen.
will locate you.
Amen.
Will
I
locate
receive
you.
it.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Are you here today? And you are struggling with your salvation. The fire to reconnect will locate you.
Amen.
It will locate you.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Are you here today? And you desire peace in your marriage. You desire peace in your life. You desire peace in everything that you're doing.
Amen.
The peace of God come upon you.
Amen.
The peace of God come upon you.
I receive that
In the name of Jesus.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus. I receive it.
Kalabasunya.
Powerful decree.
Is where we make a lot of mistakes. Do you see the word of understanding? The spirit of understanding. If it's not in a man, that man or woman is as good as dead.
Yes.
And this is serious. Understanding. If it's not in you, somebody shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Tell somebody, live according to the plan of God.
Live according to the plan of God.
Oh, say it like you mean it, my friend. Say it like you mean it.
Live according to the plan of God. Amen.
See then that ye walk circumspectly. Let's continue with our scripture. He said, and be ye not unwise, but be what? Are you there with me? Ephesians 5. Are you there? He said, and be ye not unwise, but be wise. In verse 16, he said, redeeming the time, meaning that make most of your time. Make use of your time. Amend your time. Manage your time. Because there is no time. We are running a race where Satan is running with us. So as we are running, he's drawing some people back. I want to be in front of you. He's drawing some people back. Say, redeeming the time. Redeeming the time. Why? He said because the days are evil. Not days, singular. Days, plural. That means every day today. Every day today. So that's why I said, don't worry about tomorrow. Jesus Christ said it. Don't worry about tomorrow. Today. How many hours in a day? 24 hours. So in between that 24 hours, there are arrows that fly in a day. In between that 24 hours, there are persons that work in darkness. There are destruction that wasted in the day. In between that 24 hours. So you must make sure that you are able to fight it. Walk through it. Live according to it. Listen. The reason why you must live day after one is because every day has its own anointing. Every day has its own grace. The grace you have today might be there for tomorrow. That's why you see sometimes today something good happen, tomorrow another thing happen. There is different anointing every day. There is different grace. There is different mercy. He said your mercy are new every day. They are new. And that's why you have to focus on that very day. Make sure that you live according to his plan that day. In Revelation 12, something happened in Revelation 12, chapter 12. The Bible said that heaven shouted in 12 verse 12. He said, rejoice ye heaven, Rejoice, ye heaven, and they that dwell in them. But he said, woe unto you, the inhabitant of what? Of the earth. Sir, ma, are you the inhabitant of the earth?
Yeah.
Are you among?
Yes.
If heaven can say woe unto you, that is a problem. That is a problem. He said, woe unto the inhabitant of the earth. Why? He said, the devil is come unto you. Why? He said, he has come having what? Great wrath. He has great wrath. Because he knoweth that he has but what? A short time. That is not the only one. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So, devil came down to the earth having great wrath. Why? Because he wanted something. And they said, you don't have such thing here. You don't have a place of such thing here. And they said, you have to pack your load and go. And he said, I can't go without a fight. And the Bible said there was war in heaven. And the devil and all his angels were cast down. Listen, there are some, everybody get angry, am I right?
Yes.
Let us be honest. You get angry. And there are different anger. There are some anger that comes to you, and with ease, they will melt away and go. But there are some anger that comes that they can't go away. The only way that anger can go is where you are going to pour the anger. Where you want to pour the anger. Some people will carry their TV and smash it on the floor. Some people will punch the wall. They will do all sorts of things. But most parents in Africa, they will pour their anger on the children. Am I right?
Yes.
They pour their anger. That anger, it is not the children of the fault. It's not the fault of the children. But you pour that anger on them just because you are looking for where to pour that anger. And that's what the Bible is saying here. He said that the devil is come unto you, having great wrath, meaning that he's looking for whom he will pour the anger. Where he want to deposit the anger. Somebody say it's not my portion.
It's not my portion.
It is not my portion.
It's not my portion.
It is not the portion of my children. I will not be a victim of the anger of the devil. I pray that what is chasing you that you cannot see, the Almighty God will destroy them.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Psalm 34. Psalm 34. Before we get there, let us finish our speech of us. I'm still in verse 16, isn't it? Verse 17 it says, be ye not unwise, but what? Understanding. So it did not say understanding the will of God. No. It said understanding what the will of God is.